Hello and welcome to another BookTube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. I hope you're all very, very well. Today is my September TBR, my reading plans for the month of September. Now, September, I'm going to wrap up my reading thusly, in that of a reading vlog. So I did this in July, where every week I would film what I'm reading, books that I've bought, books that have come in from the publisher, and then there's not a big wrap up at the end and there's not a book haul. I enjoyed doing this very much in July, so much so that when it got to August I was like, oh, we sort of miss doing that really. And I think it's good to get in like your thoughts as they are and like wrapping up a book as soon as you finished it, etc, etc. So that's going to be happening. So this is going to be, so the only difference is to July is that I read the books that came in. So like as I was buying books and as I was receiving them from the publisher, they were going straight onto my TBR. The difference this month is that I've got a massive TBR. So if any books do come, if I do buy books, etc, etc, they will go on the TBR, but there's already a massive TBR, and partly that's because I'd really like to get to the, well, I mean, I'm doing quite well with the Reading Women challenge, which is a challenge set where you've got 24 different prompts about to do with like reading women in 2021, and I've done very, very well, and I've got a few that I'd like to knock on the head this month. So actually, if I start with those, then we can talk about the rest of the reading. So, author from Eastern Europe is prompt number 2, and I've got Catch the Rabbit by Lana Baztazik, and she is from David coughs like you knew. She's Yugoslav born, and it says here, Sarah hasn't heard from Leia in years, but when her former best friend calls and demands she come home to Bosnia, Sarah can't say no. They must go and collect Armin, Leia's brother, who disappeared, presumably dead during the Bosnian War. Only Leia and Sarah believe Armin was still alive. What begins as a road trip becomes a journey through the past. Confronted with the limits of memory, Sarah is forced to reconsider the things she thought she understood as a girl, the best friend she loved, the first experiences they shared, but also the social and religious lines that separated them, that brought them such different lives. So yeah, it sounds exciting. That only came out this year in May, so looking forward to reading that very much. Then I've got a book about incarceration. So I've actually got out on my from the Libby app on my it's not an e-reader, a tab on my tablet, The Mars Room by Rachel Kushner. I did sort of want to get my hands on Orange is the New Black by Piper Kerman. That's the book that's obviously been made into a highly popular TV series, but they didn't have that available either at my libraries in a physical copy or on here, so I've gone for The Mars Room. But I've got a feeling when I did this halfway through, when I did my sort of like Reading Women update, a lot of people said The Mars Room wasn't that good. So if you were of that opinion, do let me know. And the other one I had sort of maybe was thinking about was Inside This Place, Not of It, which again isn't available at any of my libraries and stuff. So at the moment I'm going to be reading The Mars Room, but I've just got a feeling that some people were saying it wasn't that good. Cookbook by a Woman of Colour. This is ongoing all throughout the year. I've been making recipes from East by Mira Sota. It's always a sign of a good cookbook, isn't it, when it's smothered in rubbish. Yeah, and all of these folded over pages are things that I've made. I would say I am well over halfway. Only yesterday, was it yesterday? Saturday, it's a bank holiday Monday, I'm so confused. I made banana bread with toasted coconut. But yeah, I've been to the Asian supermarket in Croydon and bought loads of noodles and stuff. So I've basically got everything I need to make. I made this in the week as well. Clay pot noodles with beetroot and smoked tofu for me and my sister. That was very nice. Yeah, so I'm well on my way for that, and I can completely see that happening by the end of the year. Then I've got a crime novel or a thriller in translation, and I've got out on my e-reader Bloodsong by, I think it's Joanna Gustafsson, which is translated from the French, so that will hopefully be read this month. Then an Arab author in translation, I've got Minor Detail by Adania Shibli, and this is translated by Elizabeth Jacquet, and it says here, Minor Detail begins during the summer of 1949, 1 year after the war that caused the Palestinians to mourn as the Nakba, the catastrophe that led to the displacement and expulsion of more than 700,000 people, and the Israelis celebrate as the War of Independence. Israeli soldiers capture and rape a young Palestinian woman and kill and bury her in the sand. Many years later, a woman in Ramallah becomes fascinated to the point of obsession with this minor detail of history, a haunting meditation on war, violence and memory. minor detail cuts to the heart of the Palestinian experience of dispossession, life under occupation, and the persistent difficulty of piecing together a narrative in the face of ongoing erasure and disempowerment. So yeah, sounds super important and sort of like relevant to what's going on today. I'm just having a look through here. A lot of it is like this, which I don't always get on with. Obviously I didn't know that when I bought it, but like pages and pages of writing, no paragraphs. And me, I'm a paragraph lover, but let's see how I get on with that. Then Fantasy by an Asian author. I'm so excited to read this. I've been looking forward to reading this all year. This is She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. This came out in July. And this is set in 1345 in a famine-stricken village in divided China. A seer shows two children their fates. For the son, there's greatness, for the daughter, nothing. When a bandit raid wipes out their home, the orphan children must somehow survive. The son quickly succumbs to despair, but the daughter resolves to overcome her destiny. So she steals her dead brother's identity and begins her epic journey. Can Zhu escape what's written in the stars as rebellion sweeps the land, or can she claim her brother's greatness and rise as high as she can dream? Listen to this. Mulan, which I already thought it sounded a lot like Mulan, meets the Song of Achilles in a stunning queer reimagining of the dawn of the Ming dynasty. That sounds fantastic, doesn't it? And then there was four bonus prompts in the Reading Women's Challenge. And I've read, and they were, you got given authors and told to read a book by those. And I've already read a book by Tsitsi Dangarembya and Yoko Ogawa. And the two I've got left over are Alexis Wright, and I've got the Swan Book on reservation from my library, which hasn't come in yet. And then I've got Elsewhere Home by Layla Abulayla on my e-reader. So yeah, so I'm hoping to wrap up all of those this month, hopefully. Now, the next book on the old TBR I need your help with, guys, because I filmed a video of 5 books that I was absolutely certain would be 5-star books. And I've got 3 of those books left, and I'd like to read one of these books, one in September, one in October, one in November, before the Christmas reading goes wild in December. And I was wondering, because last month I got David to pick one. This month I was wondering if you would mind in the comments writing below which one you think I should read. I'm happy to go with whichever one wins, but I'd really like to read Monsters in October. So please still vote for Monsters if you want, by Emerald Fennell. But I feel like I would like to read that in October because it's a bit spoopy, isn't it? And it's spoopy month in October. But this says 2 children you would never want to meet: the beach, the sea, a body, and then another. A girl, a boy, and a summer holiday unlike any other. Emerald Fennell is, well, I know her from being in Call the Midwife. She's an actor who's in Call the Midwife, but she's also a director and a writer. She recently directed Promising Young Woman. She's also in The Crown. I love her. But yeah, if you... just don't vote for it. If you want to, I'll read it. If it wins, I'll read it. The other 2 are The Other Bennett Sister by Janice Hadlow. This is a retelling of Pride and Prejudice from the point of view of Mary, the middle sister of the 5 Bennett girls, and the plainest of them all. An introvert in a family of extroverts with little in common with her siblings, yet away from her family perhaps there is hope, and even the chance of love for her after all. So this is what it looks like. This is a proof copy, so this is what it looks like. And then the last one is This One Sky Day by Leonie Ross. And this says, dawn breaks across the archipelago of Poppy. The world is stirring awake again, each resident with their own list of things to do. A wedding feast to conjure and cook, a cheating husband to discover, a lost soul to set free. As the sun rises, 2 star-crossed lovers try to find their second chance at abiding love. When night falls, all have been given a gift and many are no longer the same. The sky is pink and some wonder if it will ever be blue again. So yeah, look at those papers, by the way. Look at them. So yeah, so do write below which of these you think I should read in September. The Other Bennett Sister, or This One Sky Day, and let me know, and I will add that to the TBR. Then I've got my 2 book club books. So I've got my book club that I run on Facebook with my pals. We're going to be reading Black Teacher by Beryl Gilroy. This is a non-fiction book about Beryl Gilroy, who in 1952 left British Guyana. I knew it was in there somewhere, the pronunciation, for London. Faced with the racism of post-war England, her new life didn't turn out as expected, but her belief in the power of education inspired a revolutionary career. Vivid, entertaining and unflinching, Gilroy's memoir is a rediscovered classic. Black Teacher is not only a rare first-hand insight into the Windrush generation, but a testament to how one extraordinary woman's courage, humour and spirit transcended her era. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading that. Really excited. And then my Patreon book club book is Felix Ever After by Case and Calendar. Every month I give my Patreons a genre, and there's 2 books to pick from. The genre for this month was YA by trans authors, and the vote was Felix Ever After or Pet. And this one, again, another beautifully sprayed, edged copy. This is about Felix Felix, whose name is Felix Love, and he's never been in love. And yes, he's painfully aware of the irony. He desperately wants to know what it's like and why it seems so easy for everyone but him to find someone. What's worse than that, even though he is proud of his identity, Felix also secretly fears that he's one marginalisation too many, black, queer and transgender, to ever get his own happily ever after. When an anonymous student begins sending him transphobic messages after publicly posting Felix's dead name alongside images of him before he transitioned, Felix comes up with a plan for revenge. What he didn't count on, his catfish scenario landed him in a quasi-love triangle. But as he journeys his complicated feelings, Felix begins a journey of questioning. As he navigates, his complicated feelings, Felix begins a journey of questioning and self-discovery that helps redefine his most important relationship, how he feels about himself. So yeah, that as well. So they're book club. And then I've just got 3 left over. One that I only bought yesterday. It's about periods. Period Queen by Lucy Peach. I bought this in Home Sense. Sometimes they have books and stuff in there. And this was a £5, and it's all about periods. I definitely think it's aimed at a younger audience. But I think that'll... I mean, I'm always willing to find out things, and I think this tagline sort of like lured me in. Life hack your cycle and own your power all month long. And I'm just willing to take on any knowledge I can get about periods and fucking try to control mine and the pain around it. So yeah, that as well. God, this is a big TBR, isn't it? Then I've got Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner. This is a finished copy that I got sent by the publisher. I have been excited to read this. This is a memoir from Michelle, and it explores the grief of losing her mother to cancer, and it's also sort of tied up in food, which I really love, memoirs written from a food point of view, and I seem to have read a lot of them recently, and also about identity. Excuse me, also about identity. So yeah, and every time I've mentioned this on the channel, so many people have said that it is exquisite. So yes, very much looking forward to reading that. And then lastly, this is a book that I hauled last month as well. This is Crimson by Nivaki Corneliusson. And this is a translated fiction book. This was originally written in Greenlandic, which is the language of Greenland. The author herself translated it into Danish, and then it's been translated from Danish to English by Anna Halaga. And this is a book set in Greenland, and it follows 5 friends, and it's sort of like the goings on in their life. There's queer people in there, and it just sounds fantastic. And I heard it on the What Page Are You On podcast, and I went and ordered it instantly because I just thought it sounded so great. So there we go. So those are the books that I plan to read in the month of September. As I said, there'll be a reading vlog going up I think because today's vlog is going up, because today's TBR is going up on the Wednesday, I think maybe I'll do it on the Wednesday. So I think next Wednesday will be week 1 of the reading vlogs, and you'll be seeing how I've been getting on with these guys. But do remember to write in the comments down below which of these you think I should add to my TBR for September. Monsters, the other Bennett sister, or this one Sky Day. So this one Sky Day, the other Bennett sister, or Monsters. Whatever one you want, it's completely what you guys want, and I'll count up the votes after this video's been up for a day, and add that to my TBR. So yeah, hope you're doing well, and I'll see you all again on Friday for my August wrap up.